Zoom. And bada bing, bada boom.
I feel like we're going for like chill vibes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Welcome to the Trash Cats Trashcast. I'm Richard.
I'm Steven.
And today, Steven, I have great news.
Ooh. Do tell.
I am completely cured of all of my mental illness.
Hell yeah.
My therapy session today went great. I almost canceled it, but I decided, you know what? My therapist is cool. I just want to talk to him and hang out, see how his life is going.
Give him a little charity, huh?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I was feeling generous, and, I gotta say, I've had a couple different appointments where I either canceled because I really didn't have anything to talk about, or I've had, I've had the appointment and realized like, I'm actually doing all right. I don't feel too bad. My depression is at I never know if I should say it's at an all-time low, because it's like the depression's not as prevalent.
Yeah,
or
but you don't want your
say,
depression to be at an all-time low. That doesn't
You're right,
sound
exactly.
good.
But it's also say like if my depression's at an all-time high, it's like that sounds like the depression is doing well, and it's like that's not
either way. It sounds like
either.
you're about to off yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's like I'm
doing good.
I'm doing so great. I didn't go to therapy today. Ugh.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound good either way.
I was kind of putting it off. I actually had the reason I didn't cancel the appointment is because I got this trip coming up, and I was like, I just want to make sure that like with my anxiety lately, I don't know how it's going to be by next week, and you never know. And I've been sick, and I was just like, I'm just going to keep it just in case.
Yeah.
And as I'm like getting ready this morning, and I'm like thinking about it, and like, I'm actually doing really well. I like cleaned my whole house, like the detail cleaning, like all the windowsills and all the like, I scrubbed the
you JP'd
bathroom walls and shit.
You JP'd? Jordan Peterson.
Is that what he does?
You just cleaned your room. Cleanliness is close to godliness. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Or how starting to clean up the room changed their life. That's quite fun because it's something I always tell people to do instead of going out and protesting. Jesus, I just can't stand
Cleaning up
that.
the room?
Yeah.
Meaning?
What it was is I got stuck in a rut for a minute where I was like depressed, so I didn't feel like doing shit. Or like I'd get like one or two rooms like mostly kind of picked up. And then I would be like, I'll get the rest of it, just spend a couple hours a week and I'll do like that. And then I just didn't. So it would quickly deteriorate back into a den of sadness.
Sure.
And I finally got to the point where I'm like, I just cannot live like this anymore. And I definitely can't have people coming over and seeing that I live like this.
I just don't understand this whole idea of cleaning. I just don't get it. You never have to clean ever if you just pick up after yourself. That's my technique.
That's the thing is like I wasn't good at that.
How are people not good at it?
So when you don't live with someone for long enough, when you live alone and you're like, no one is here to judge me.
My girlfriend's a slob. I'm picking up more of her shit than my shit.
Well, but you're still like, there's a part of you that's like, I'm just going to pick this up and take it in there. There's a courtesy that you extend for having another person there of like,
no,
this is for you.
There is something to the cluttered life, cluttered mind, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like
there's a degree of like comfort for like people have their different range of what's the comfort zone for them, but there's
I just feel like if it gets to the point where you actually have to clean, there's a problem. Like if they're like
sure, but like there's always going to be like there's like I said, like the dusting the windowsills and shit, like getting into like the
never do
woodwork
that
stuff. Yeah.
We like our dust bunnies to get sunlight.
If you get, like the cobwebs and stuff, and I know you prefer to have.
But then
the
it's
cobwebs.
not spooky.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right, and I'm missing out on that lived in quality. But
bro, I got the sickest cobweb going above my bathroom sink, bro. It's sick, dude.
It's been there for a while. You've told me about that
It's
one
like
before.
sprawling. It's like 6 feet across, bro. There's like
I think this is
whole
this is
animal
the one
life cycles have happened in this cobweb.
where I think it was you, I think your girlfriend asked asked you to clean it, and you were like, no, it's not. I'm leaving it there on purpose.
No, dude, that shit's dope. I'm not cleaning it. Why? It's so cool.
That shit costs money. If you want to try to hang up a fake one, that shit costs money. This is natural.
Yeah.
This is it's like the patina.
It's the vibes.
It's the vibe. Speaking of patina, I did have the contractor that's doing our siding came out earlier and kind of went through a bunch of stuff with us. We did discover there's some stuff that our sales guy didn't really see.
Classic.
Of course, underneath the front porch, we have siding around the front porch, and it's got for them to do what they're going to do, they need to put sheeting behind it. And
sheeting,
plywood sheets.
Okay.
And they're saying it's definitely going to add something to the cost, but there's other places that they can make it work. And he's going around and he's looking at stuff with us, and he's like, for what you're looking at, there's certain things that don't need to be done, or maybe let me go back and look and see if there's a different way we can do this. It's going to cost you less in other places so that it doesn't end up affecting your overall price. And
the
might
board
even save
already
you some
approved
money.
you, right? You can do whatever the fuck you want.
I mean, more or less, yeah. There is they still have to technically, go through the the city planner and whatnot. But no, it's definitely he seemed like a good guy. He seemed like he had our best interests at heart.
He was a polite little scam artist, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So that was cool. It was it's validating. It's nice to have the next steps being taken. It's pretty dope. I'm pretty excited about that.
Was there more to the therapy thing, or was it just things were going well enough you did a halfie?
Yeah, that was mostly it. But there is actually more. So my next appointment going in is on April 1st.
Nice.
And he was like, he made a joke that probably not what a therapist should make a joke of. Yeah, but it was funny. He said, as long as you don't come in here on April 1st, as a prank, being like, oh, I'm suicidal. I was like, all right, yeah, bet.
That's funny.
I think I said, I'm a danger to myself and others.
April Fools.
April Fools. Yeah, but no, shit's going good. I'm eating better. I'm feeling better. That's very uncommon for this time of year, I think, for me.
This is still early season, though. You haven't hit the height.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely part of me that's waiting for the other shoe to drop, but I also feel like between the kind of offloading of some of the stress at work and we've got some family stuff with, some of the older members of the family that's kind of stressful, but besides that, things are going well for your boy.
Hell yeah.
In the, the close proximity orb.
Yeah.
Shit's not too bad. Good. But how are you going?
I'm okay. Not too much new. I feel like the last couple weeks that question's kind of stumped me because I've been in a bit of a holding pattern. I was looking through my hard drives and I've realized, I've known this, but I've realized more and more each year I'm getting so much less art done, but I'm making way more things each year than the previous year. And maybe the proportions of what I'm making aren't quite ideal, but I feel like I've gotten like pretty productive and efficient. And I'm like okay with where things are at, but I'm just not very happy with how my life is currently organized. But everything's going, okay enough. So I feel like I'm like losing time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Everything's okay.
It's understandable.
Yeah, everything's okay, but I'm losing time, and that's been bothering me. Kind of processing that a bit in the back of my head. But I did finally. I think every week for the last 6 months, I've wrote in my calendar multiple times a week also to make my like next tattoo appointments, because more than anything else ever, I hate scheduling things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless it's a reoccurring like weekly thing like the podcast, I hate scheduling things with people more than anything, especially if it involves more than 2 parties where you're texting and shit. I fucking hate that shit.
It's the worst. Yeah.
So I just put off.
I fully agree with that. Even with the new advents of like the doing it online, it can still make it like, fuck, dude. It's just one more thing I gotta fucking do. It's like you gotta push like 4 buttons.
I hate it though. Like, I just hate seeing what somebody else's time is like. It's just so gross. But I finally scheduled appointments, so I feel good about that. I got scheduled what will be, I think, my last like blackout piece. So I'm hoping it's like there's only like one other spot I think that could give me issues, but I think it'll be like my last most painful tattoo. But
okay.
Yeah, like it's leg, like easier spot, but like it'll be my last big blackout, and I don't have any other spaces that big left on my body. So I'm like, I feel a little bit not overconfident, but I'm like, all right, I can do this. It's my last like hellish, hopefully, piece. So got that scheduled. I got something else drawn up too. Did I ever show you the strawberry fish hook?
I don't think so. No.
I love the idea of like not being able to have the things you want. Right? There's a song. There's a French song called "Protect Me," and Placebo did a cover of it. That's really good. But I've had this design forever of like a luscious strawberry with a fish hook in it. And I've wanted it forever, and I'm finally getting that. It'll be good. I'm having India do that, and Josh do my blackout. Those will be good. So I got both those coming up this month.
Now I got a tattoo question for you.
Yeah.
I just saw recently, I think it was a picture of, from what I understood in like the description of, or a comment on it, it was this dude had like blackout stuff and then did color over top of it. Mm-hmm. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. I
figured once it was like black, like you couldn't really, because it was like super saturated color.
I thought that a bit too. You can for sure, but the first pass or some colors will not cover over black well, but you can recolor blacked out skin. It just, depending on what it is or the colors, it can be not the easiest. It depends. Like, I think more previously people did it with white more because it tended to go easier, but I believe you can just straight color over it too.
I'm trying to remember in my head, but I remember he had like whites and reds.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a teal or something. But they were like super vivid. And of course on the black, I'm a sucker for like high saturation color on a dark background.
Yep.
It looked really good.
Oh,
I didn't know that was a thing. As I'm watching the video thinking like, oh, he like they did black around these, and someone said like, no, it's just been layers and layers and layers of different color stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's pretty dope.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds fucking expensive, but it sounds fucking dope.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't feel like that heavily tattooed. And I think it's primarily because I don't have that much on my face type shit. But so I've held off on doing my neck forever. I have a tentative design I'll show you later, but it needs work. But I have neck and then some bits of leg, and then those are like the last like real big spaces.
Nice.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Any honorable mentions? I don't know what we're doing today. Today's like a chill day. I've always liked the phrase, "Hey man, just take a beat." I always like when people say that. Take a beat. Have you ever noticed people always say it at the appropriate time?
In another podcast, I could absolutely see you saying, "I hate it when people say that. It makes me so mad."
No. Then, hear me out. People always say like, "Oh, hurry it up," or like, "Let's get moving." And I feel like that it always hits at the wrong time. You're like, "Bro, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hurry things up." But when people say take a beat, it's always because you've hit a good intermittent period to like breathe and reflect. I like when people say take a beat. I feel like we're taking a beat.
My boss doesn't say that exactly, but on a pretty regular basis, he'll come in and just go, we can get this done, and then, maybe this, but then, just take it easy today, guys. Like,
that's nice.
He on a very regular basis. It's funny because sometimes you'll say it on days where like, I can't really take it easy today, but
yeah, that's the difference. Wouldn't you prefer him to say, "Hey, take a beat"?
Yeah.
Because then you would actually know you could take a beat, instead of, "Oh, take it easy." What the fuck is easy? I still got shit to do. But if you said, "Hey guys, take a beat,"
but even then though, like even when I don't have or when I like feel like I have a bunch of shit to do, what he's saying is like that's. Like, it's cool. Like, you don't need to stress on it. It's fine.
I don't want it to be cool. Like, I want to be granted permission to take a beat.
See, I don't need permission to take a beat. I give myself permission to take a beat.
Do you remember that Anger Fist song? The silence between the notes?
No. I thought you were going to say there's an Anger Fist song called Take a Beat.
Bro, that song goes hard as fuck, bro. But it's the silence between the notes that makes the music, right? Mm-hmm. The more beats, the better. You need beats.
Noted. Actually, that's actually good advice because I am worried about that when I'm going traveling here. So I keep thinking about
where are you going?
I'm touring the West Coast. Yeah, I'm touring the West Coast, and
what the fuck does that mean?
I'm the West Coast.
The fuck's the? You on tour?
The West Coast
tour? Just say where you're going.
Yeah. Well, I guess it doesn't super matter. I was trying not to like. It
absolutely does not matter.
I'm going from Portland to LA. I'm flying into Portland, driving down to LA, and it's gonna like. Luckily, I'm meeting with a friend that I've known since second grade.
Yeah.
Out in Portland, and then we're gonna drive down to LA, and we're gonna take the scenic route. We're gonna take our time getting down there, and we're gonna. There's already a couple nature places we've talked about. We've also kind of like floated, kind of freestyling it a little bit, but we're definitely the redwoods. Going through those has always been part of like a bucket list item for me.
You've never gone, and,
yeah, never gone. I've never gone further west than Colorado.
I like Arizona and Colorado. I mean, what is there to see though? It's just trees, right?
It's just big ass old ass trees. And there's something that's very cool about that to me.
Take it or leave it.
Know? Yeah, completely fair.
I'm sure someone it's cool, but
someone also told me that apparently on the coast of Oregon, there you can find purple starfish on the beach.
Ooh, I'd like that.
And I was like, that's pretty cool.
I like when normal things are miscolored.
Yeah, or just something, just a little. We do a little different out here.
Yeah.
I think that's fun. But yeah, there's a part of me that's worried about like
anxiety.
Just like not, being in the moment and like, worried about like where we're gonna, stop, like getting a hotel in that area or, getting, I don't know, different little shit that's like, I'm such a hermit. I'm so used to my creature comforts.
Yeah.
All of my things are here and I have everything kind of the way I want it to be.
Bro,
like my maximal comfort.
I would be so uncomfortable. Like the trip itself sounds awesome, but I'm so uncomfortable, like both traveling and being with other people for prolonged periods of time. Like it would. Yeah,
that is another thing. Is like I know my friend that I'm meeting up with is cool.
Yeah, you guys will have a blast for sure.
I know it's going to be fun.
Yeah,
there is a part of me that's like, damn, I'm going to be sharing a hotel and like space with somebody for like, a little over a week.
Yeah.
Not even just about a week, but it's like all the time we're going to spend in the car together and stuff like that. And like, I keep reminding myself like we have a lot to catch up on. So I'm sure like that's going to be plenty to kind of keep us fluid on that.
Yeah.
I'm just not used to it anymore. And, it's just something I'm going to get used to. And like, I'm stressing out about it in a way that like, it's not helping. It's not going to make it go away. Like I'm still going to have to do it and I'm sure it's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
So like the micro stress about it is like stupid.
Yeah. And it's like hard not to like build that up in your head. But even though, it's like as soon as you get the ball rolling, everything will be gravy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then like, I'm not usually a picture taker kind of person. Like landscapes, I'm sure I'll do good at, or do good with. Cause I see pretty, spaces of stuff and I like to kind of remember those that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to like take pictures of people and stuff and it feels awkward to me, but
yeah,
it's like, these are, all of these people are like people I haven't seen in, 10 years or so.
Yeah.
And, I'm just trying to, I should just take a beat.
Yeah. Take a beat. You'll have a blast.
I'm gonna get that tattooed.
Speaking of creature comforts traveling, now this is the disclaimer. The statute of limitations is long past, okay? But last time I took a bus to I identified with you saying not having the creature comforts of the things you want. There's nothing worse than being on an out of trip when you know you're going to go into withdrawal halfway through. Oh my God. That is the worst, bro. My last time I took a Greyhound, I had an 8-ball of heroin, a couple grams of Molly, and about like 30 Valium and some weed or whatever. And I was so paranoid with traveling. So my bright idea was to bag it all up and put it in a big jar of peanut butter. Because, at least if the drug dogs smell it, you have like somewhat of a plausible excuse.
Yeah, just my peanut butter.
But the funny part is then you also have to have loaves of bread.
No, dog, I just eat it by the spoonful. It's fine.
And it honestly is pretty plausible, but it's just like any cop that takes a look at me is going to search my peanut butter. Like, I'm the type of person the cops will search my peanut butter.
Yeah, you just, they check your pockets, you got peanut butter and cayenne pepper, and they're like, dog, ain't no fucking way.
And like 4 hours into the bus ride, like not even being out of the yet, I have like my hands in the peanut butter, trying to dig shit out and put everything back in and getting peanut butter everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
I stayed at...
Was this on the bus, or did you like wait till you got to a stop?
On the bus for sure. And then and I stayed at some place called like the Love Motel that literally had like neon heart signs. It was just like a place for prostitution. Like it was a motel with bars on the windows in the middle of like crazy place. Paid like $50 cash. Like it was just like a rancid place. Like they had bed bugs.
Yeah,
and I was just there for like a concert for a couple days. It was a fun ass trip though. But the drive back, oh my god, trying to get back into before you get sick and trying to arrange your pickups. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah,
miserable. You'll have way more fun than my last trip.
Yeah, that was a question. One of the first questions I asked the friend I'm traveling down with was like, what is your, like, I don't know what your comfort level is with like hotels and stuff, but like, I'm willing to spend money for something nicer. Like, I don't want to do, I think he said something along the lines of like, cheap motel or something's fine by me. And I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, he's punk rock.
I've seen
He'd sleep in the car, bro. He's like, you want the fancy.
That's what he was.
Yeah,
he was originally planning on doing that because he was talking about he wanted someone to travel with, and like, I was like, I don't want to do that. And like in my mind, it's like if you're gonna go through all this effort to like drive me down there and all this stuff, I'm like I want to chip in for gas. I want to I want to get a nice hotel room. It's not that much more to get a room with 2 beds. It's still cheaper than getting 2 different rooms. So like, I'm down to do that.
It's just shit adds up quick though, over a week.
It does.
The slightly nicer option each time, it starts adding up. I feel
sure. It's worth it to me. And it's one of those of like, the way I even looked at it in my head was like, because I asked him that at first, like one, just to like figure out what his plan was with
the
that.
Vibe. Yeah.
And then also like I'm not going to ask him to like, split a room that's way above what he would have been comfortable with, what he would have done by himself. Like that's crazy.
You got 4-star rooms at the Hilton lined up every night.
Yeah. Let's not get crazy. But the idea of like, I've always liked the thing of like, don't lend money that you're not that you ever expect to get. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
that's a thing.
I'm so like, I fully see it that way of like, I'm not.
You would prefer it to be nicer. You're willing to pay. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's on me.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's like, I want to be at a nicer place. And it would be really like fucked up what it would be. It was like, well, if you're cool with sleeping in your car, that's cool. I'm just getting a real room for me then. You can just sleep out in the fucking hotel parking lot. That sucks. That's just a bad energy I don't want to bring into the trip. And
Yeah.
So no, that's but it's like that kind of thing is like, that's kind of, it almost makes it more fun to me in a way of like, I know, like, I'm not stressing any of that. I got, that's what the fucking credit card's for. Well, we'll figure it out in the summertime when I pay it off. And,
you're going into debt?
I think it's worth it.
Fuck.
I think it's worth it to spend money I don't have.
Bro.
To have the experience and the time that I want.
I've never spent $1 I didn't have.
That's horse shit.
Actually, all right, this is a bit of personal privilege. I've only ever taken out some car debt to my parents.
Okay, cool.
I hate owing money.
So, do you not have a credit card?
I've never used one. I have like a bank card.
That's super dope.
Yeah. It's
it sucks that you probably don't have credit then, which is a bummer. But
I did a thing to get it established, but I didn't till recently. Yeah, but which is so lame because apparently the regulations were supposed to change like 2 years ago, and they haven't yet. Where like not having established credit doesn't count against your credit, but currently that's not the case yet.
Yeah,
but I have really good credit somehow.
Good.
Yeah, I just hate if I don't have cash, I just never get anything. Like I understand like getting a house does require it to a large extent for most people too. I just can't imagine making that kind of leap to not have the money in full. Seems like crazy. Like it seems crazy. The market is actually so preposterous that the average person, of course, has to do that. But I just have never spent money I don't have.
And it's so designed against you too. Like the interest is the fucking killer. Like, you know, they give you a few $1,000s of a spending limit, and then, you know, you're spending, you know, it's like 15% sometimes or more on like just paying interest, and like you're making payments to the card, and like, you know, just to pay for that $1,000 or so, it could cost you, you know, close to $2.
Yeah. Just
because the minimum payment you're spending is just covering the interest, and that's what they want, because then you have to pay them longer.
Of course.
Then the thing I've learned, I mean, this is how, you know, rich people do it too, but like, you do is you open a new credit card, and then you consolidate you pay off your other card with that card.
Yeah.
And then, because most like new accounts then you have like 0% interest on that card for like a year is usually the kind of shit they offer. Sometimes it's like 18 months even. So then you have no interest on it. You can beat that down, and then, you know, you're technically have paid the debt from the other one.
The thing is that's what all those get out of debt services do that are like scams, because for most people, you're not going to get a good enough rate that it's actually helpful unless you're already in a financially stable position to begin with.
That is absolutely true. Yes.
Yeah,
so I would say for anyone who, the reason I have good credit is mostly because my mom had good credit.
Yeah.
And she opened an account for me when my dad moved to Florida, and then she was going back and forth. She opened like a joint account and put me on it.
Yeah.
And
some shit.
it was just so that like I had something, if I needed something, I could get it. Mm-hmm. Like if I need food, I need whatever for the house, I can get it if she's not there. So I didn't really, fuck with it all too much, but all that time that like, because she had good credit and her name's attached to it, it bumped my credit up.
Yeah.
Just by association, which was rad as fuck. And we didn't realize it until years and years later. So that's advice to anyone who's got kids, or, I guess only do it if your credit's decent.
They know that.
Otherwise you're fucking up your kids' credit before they can get started.
I feel like the main move, and it sucks, like the Trump savings account thing.
No.
The federal government is offering investment accounts for children where the parents can put money in and the government will match it to a certain percentage. They're called Trump accounts. And of course. They are lying through their teeth about what the account is actually authorized to do versus what they keep saying it will do. Nevertheless, it is a potentially like very good thing that is going to be underutilized because they politicize it so much. But the government should have collective and individual investment accounts, like much more accessible to people. But like as a young person, if you can scrape up $5 to $10,000 and put it into a money managed account, bro, over the course of a lifetime, it is the difference between poverty and like retirement.
Truly.
I started figuring my shit out. Like when I got this last job, and I make less than a lot of people, but because I'm working from home, like I don't spend shit, like, and just not using drugs, I'm like infinitely richer. And I feel like so hood rich off like a very low income. It just all has to be invested correctly, which I think is a lot to ask for most people when they're struggling to get by. But I feel like with like more like education on like how to do it when you're younger, it just makes such a big difference.
Yeah, I've always thought that they should be teaching more of that in like high school stuff.
Absolutely.
Of like how to open a fucking Roth
Pay
IRA.
Taxes. Yeah.
You know, just even the basic shit like that of like, you know, they have, you know, the fucking terminals online where it's all buttons. It's all just click the fucking buttons. As long as you're like a 1040 or not a 1040, you're a W-2 situation.
You love saying just 1040. That's like your call sign.
Is it?
Only kind of. I feel like
1099 is the one I was thinking.
Yeah, and I don't know why you say 1040 because 1099 people love say 1099. I don't even know what is a 1040.
I think 1040 is actually another name for W-2.
I think that is right, actually, because that would be just a normal paycheck, a wagey slave, such as myself. Yeah, look that shit up. All right. Besides giving poor financial advice, what else do we got? Any thoughts?
Giving poor financial. I was on a roll with something for a minute.
Take your time.
Oh yeah,
we'll see if it pops
the 1040 and W2 basically same thing.
Basically, or is?
Basically.
Well, now you're just confusing the audience.
It's I think 1040 is the form that you use to report your taxes to the government.
Then wouldn't it be the same thing?
No, so I think the W-2 is what you use to file or to claim your exemptions. And then the 1040 is then what you file when you file your taxes.
Okay.
When you file for your return. If I might be fucking that up.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Some shit like that. So yeah, and actually that's actually a good reminder. I got to do my taxes.
Yeah.
I need to go to H&R Block this year.
Don't go there. Oh my God, they're terrible.
What's wrong with H&R Block?
They're scams.
I've never had a problem with them.
They charge so fucking much for like basic shit.
Oh, I've never had them charge me any more than, you know, because they do.
Are you paying
the same
hundreds of dollars?
No, God, no.
The one on Delhi, the H&R national website says $100 tax season, official offer at all locations. You go to the one on Delhi, they try to charge me $350.
That's insane.
And I
don't think I've ever paid them more than like $40
on their website. And I'm like, yo, this is false advertising. They're like, well, I don't know what to say. Bro, I've had like, I know they can be good, but a lot of them are just so sketchy. I don't know. It's probably place to place, but why not just file them yourself?
Because I have taxes. It's my local taxes.
Oh, whatever. It is confusing with
they're dickheads about it. They don't make it easy, and they've burned me for the last 2 years of like it wasn't. I thought it had gone through, but it didn't go through right. And then they don't hit me up until 8 months later when it's fucking
you owe us $14.
Yeah, it's like fuck you.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just go to them, go see my girl Sheila.
Well, how about this? Do you want to talk about hedonism for a moment?
Oh, of course, always.
All right. I feel like we've talked about this topic quite a bit over the years, huh?
A little bit, sure.
One of my biggest contentions, especially as an addict, I don't like how hedonism or what is it called? Behavior for self. Oh, God. Yeah. I don't like how it's always looked at so negatively, right?
Yeah.
And I will often argue that hedonistic behavior by itself is morally neutral, or as often as it can be negative, can be positive, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had someone offer an interesting symmetry breaker on this of like why maybe hedonism isn't good, right? Because I'm often pushing for it not to be looked at as negative, right?
Sure.
And this hypothetical, it didn't fuck me up, but it made me try to think of a different argument. And you know when you're like familiar with a concept, but when you hear it worded the right way, it just like clicks a little bit more. Like it was already in place, but then it just like, I don't, you get that,
it's kind of cements a little bit.
Yeah. So here's the hypothetical. How would you feel if it's the matrix, the stake, right? The pleasure, the experience box, the pleasure button, all of those.
Sure.
It's the same thing. But how would you feel if the whole world, all at the same time, so there's no survivors, there's no one left suffering, but everyone in the world could press a button at once, and they would be given an increasingly higher dose of heroin till they're blissed out and eventually die. The whole world dies blissfully all at once. Where does that land on your morality scale?
Now, I will tell you that what you're describing is essentially the infinite Tsukuyomi, which is a thing from the Naruto-verse.
Ooh, of course.
Where they take everyone on the planet and they put them into a state of a dream sleep kind of situation, where all their experiences are perfect and exactly what they want. Fulfills all their wildest dreams. But meanwhile, the actual Earth is now barren of people.
That's a bad comparison. Like we've done there's the pleasure box, the actual philosophical hypothetical or whatever, the experience button or whatever the fuck it's called. There's no suffering left to the world. Everyone is purely blissed out till their existence ends.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is like they're in their own personal dream.
But that's different because you said the world suffered in ruin.
The planet. Not the world as in the people, the planet. The planet is just...
That has a connotation.
Is without people. Sorry.
Yeah.
The planet is without people.
Okay.
Because they are now consumed by this tree that is giving them
take it out on Naruto. You're killing me.
I'm trying to get to the point where the person who did it, the person who brought this idea, was the villain, and they all had a hard time arguing against it.
I'm asking your
because it's
opinion.
Like, let me get to it. Let me fucking get to it. Because even in the anime sense where like, oh, it's right and wrong kind of thing, it's good and evil kind of shit. Even in this situation, there were a lot of times where you're seeing like these people who were doing this, while they're portrayed as the bad guys, are like, we just want to end all the suffering.
Yes.
We don't want there to be any more war.
Antinatalist type shit.
We just want to be able to like give everyone the peace that they want for either the rest of their lives or if they, however long they want it to be. And then it's just over. It ends with us, but everyone's going to have their dream situation before they go. And I think there is something beautiful to it, and it's hard to argue against it. The idea of just like
some Jim Jones type shit. But give me your like straight take. If the whole world could all die blissfully on heroin tonight, do you think that's good or bad? What is your moral intuition is it's bad.
I think here's where I'm conflicted too, because I think it's bad mostly because I don't want to go.
That's
I'm not done yet.
That's irrelevant to the hypothetical. So
I mean I think if it's like I don't
everyone
think it
is
though.
Yes, it is irrelevant. The hypothetical is not against people's will. If the whole world is consensually down for this blissful death, is that morally neutral, good or bad?
I would argue maybe neutral. I mean, it would be. I guess if you're saying like the act of pushing the button that does it,
I'm gonna remind you
neutral or good.
I'm gonna remind you of your previous arguments. I listened back to one of our old episodes when we debated this. I don't know if you can hear that thunder. We got some cool atmosphere.
Yeah.
When we debated the experience box, the pleasure, whatever, I'm blanking on the name of that hypothetical. It's the same thing.
How long ago was this?
Years ago. But your argument was that just like in the Matrix, eating the steak, even if it's not real, is okay. To press the morphine drip button forever is just as acceptable. And my argument to you was I was feeling like maybe we have some sense of purpose outside of this. And if anything, we reversed roles in the argument because you're not the one who does heroin. And I remember saying to you, like, then why the fuck don't you do this shit, you know? And we kind of switched roles mid-debate, and it was interesting. But the intuition you're touching on is that most people, if they're asked if the whole world could bliss out of existence, they're just in a box feeling infinite pleasure forever, most people feel like that's a bad thing, right? And that's what your answer was. Like, there's something that feels weird or not good about that, right?
Yeah, there's like a...
I'm going to validate you.
This goes back to a different conversation that I know we've had where there's something about the suffering part of life that makes it feel more real, that makes the good feel more real. That makes life feel more real, and it's not that it's got to be suffering.
So you want suffering? But like, you want hungry people, huh?
Yeah, that's what I said. The idea of the idea of there being, you know, that it's not just 100% bliss all the time is part of what, you know, the growth through, you know, trauma, whatnot. We've had that whole discussion before. There's like, is trauma bad? Sure. But like the growth potential that you can overcome when you grow through it.
Scar tissue.
Yeah. It can be extraordinary. It can be, you know, so strengthening, for the individual. And I don't know that it's, I'm definitely not saying that it's bad to want.
You're saying it's a little bad. And I'm going to validate your intuition.
Think saying it's neutral doesn't mean it's a little bad.
You said it was neutral, but how you said it was that something feels wrong about it to you.
No, I think I'm just, because I'm writing the line between is it good or bad, or good or neutral, more or less. Because I don't really feel that it's bad. I just, you know, the idea, like, if everyone, you know, that's kind of the way most people want to go if they have a choice, is, you know, in their sleep, or in their comfortably, or, you know, in a good, happy state kind of thing, or at least a comfortable state. And that's not crazy. The idea of like, I think the thing that I might be hung up on might be the wrong thing of like, even if it's a consensual thing across the entire planet, there's just something that feels...
Trust your intuition.
Yeah, I don't know if it's wrong. I don't know if wrong is the right word. Maybe just for lack of a better one in this moment, there's something that feels wrong about ending it all for everyone.
Well, let me
versus
I'm gonna
ending
push
it for yourself.
I'm gonna push.
Like if you yeah, sure.
The death part doesn't matter. The classic philosophical hypothetical was the pleasure machine. You can choose to leave the real world and enter the matrix, go into a box where you're infinitely pleasured, the most beautiful experiences for the rest of your natural life in a box, but you can never go back. And previously, you had argued that entering the box was not bad. But when the hypothetical changes, and it seems darker, but it's really the same thing. The whole world gets blissed out until their existence ends on heroin. More culty, Jim Jonesy, but it's the same hypothetical at its root. It feels wrong. And I have been the one previously that has argued for more pro-hedonistic things. You have lived more anti-hedonistic things. But when we enter this hypothetical, you often previously have gone more towards accepting the pleasure box. But when it's framed as like a heroin bliss death, you feel like there's something uneasy at the very least, or maybe even a little wrong. And previously, I've argued against that. And after hearing this hypothetical, I have adjusted my feelings about it a little bit. And I have an argument of why, to some extent, I think I do feel like it is wrong to a degree. Like, I still think hedonistic shit can be very good, but there is something about everyone being blissed out till they die or leaving the real world to enter the matrix that does feel a little bit off or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I have an argument for that.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Okay, because you're very uneasy about it, but you feel like something is off with entering the matrix. Basically, right?
Sure, yeah.
So, and I've argued historically, like, there is a valid pursuit in feeling good, in self-pleasure, in hedonistic shit. Now, I think the hypothetical of Jim Jones' death feels off, and often, like religious or spiritual people, like losers with their own shit objective morality, like that God's law type people, they feel like pleasure boxes or whatever are always wrong, right? And they say it's because God has a greater purpose for us, right? Like this idea that like hedonism is bad is like a very much a religious pushed theme, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it always comes down to God has a greater calling, a greater purpose for us, which we obviously disagree with. But I think there's something to it that religious people are always going to abuse, right? So here is my little pet theory I've been playing with, and it's pleasure multipliers, okay? If I do that heroin today, it is a modest amount of pleasure that often is looked at as like a wrong, bad thing. So hedonistic, so bad. And I do disagree with that strongly. But if I'm going to try to embrace the other side of the argument here a bit, is if instead, or even I do the heroin and I make a really cool song that day, there's a small chance, right? It might be small, but there's a small chance the song goes viral, or even I just share it with 5 friends or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chance of pleasure multiplications there, where that thing I made can offer pleasure or relief of suffering to a potentially infinite amount of people. Like you could make a song that for 1,000 years offers people pleasure. And that has the potential, even if it's unlikely or small or whatever, that has the potential to offer more pleasure by offering a small amount of pleasure to a lot of people, that has the potential of more pleasure than just doing the hedonistic thing. And I feel like there is like an argument there where like I don't like how self-pleasure is so shamed, especially
true.
by religious people. But I think there is another side of the argument that I have tend to overlook, that by offering pleasure to the world more, you have a chance of like multiplying for more pleasure than you could offer yourself.
I can see that. I can agree with that.
Little multiplication tables.
It's that's a pretty optimistic take for you, I think.
I think so. I feel like I was challenged into it a bit. I think I've always believed that to some extent because I do art, but but then again, most of my art's like very selfish, like for myself more.
Sure. Yeah.
More than other people, but I feel like it's a. I feel like it's almost like a necessary like yin yang to not giving in too much to like self pleasure hedonistic shit. I hate saying hedonistic shit. There's got to be another like form of that wordage, but
just sloth, gluttony, greed, and lust.
I just hate how like religious people especially have demonized it so much, like where
it's like it's a bad thing to be a normal person who has lust and pride and wants to eat a bunch of food and sleep, and
we're like this I forget what it is, a satanic like sins or whatever. What I think like sloth and greed and gluttony are all good as long as they're correctly balanced. Pride, sloth, whatever. Where I feel
like what does that even mean?
No, I feel like it's good though. Like the inverse of, I forget what they're called in LaVeyan Satanism, but like the inverse is like sloth is good as long as you have
tenets or something. Yeah,
as long as you have enough pride to not let yourself become the sloth, right? Like to have to have it in balance. Or like I feel like self pleasure to some extent is a very good thing. It just, if you fully go into the matrix or you do bliss till you die, then you don't have the chance to offer more pleasure to the world in a way in that will make the world more pleasurable to others, that hopefully also is helps them make the world more pleasurable to you.
Yeah, that's beautifully put. I do want to know, during the conversation you listened to, like, where was my mental health at then? Because if it was years ago, I could also see. I'm interested to listen back to older episodes to see
it's really trippy. It's like super trippy to listen back to old shit. I listened to it very passively. To be honest, I think you might be right. Maybe you weren't having the best of times. But I feel like we've ran through this multiple times over the years. And often I think you're when the hypothetical is like laid out as almost, when the hypothetical is laid out that there's nothing wrong with entering the matrix, I feel like multiple times you've chosen yes, and I've always said yes. Like, yes, I agree with that, but also I do feel like we have some other purpose, and I don't like how that's like traditionally like co-opted as like a spiritual thing or as a godly thing. And I feel like I've had a lot of contradictions there where I'm always like, no, I'm the first one into the pleasure box, but I wish I could still do art or like make things or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you're always like more hesitant to get in the pleasure box because like you don't live that way. But when it comes down to the hypothetical, you tend to answer that you're all for like simulated pleasure realities.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm. That makes it sound like.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like some real gooner shit.
Oh yeah.
The idea of,
well, if your perspective is different from then, can I challenge that? Why wouldn't you get in the pleasure box then?
Here's my what I was going to say is like that it's like I'm by no means an accelerationist. I don't think that's
You're an incrementalist.
Sure.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
The idea of
most of them.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm sure there's someone could put a connotation on that.
Yeah.
The idea of like when I'm in a bad place and like the times when I could be close to suicidal. I'm gonna get dark here. The main thing that holds me, when it gets dark enough that I feel like I need a reason, the reason is always
other
people.
Yeah.
It's always people. So if you're removing that from the equation, if you're saying this is for everyone can sense, everyone's going at once, and we can end it that way. That's where it's like that's more tempting to me then, because it's like, oh, this is like
you're not
this is the way out.
Yeah,
this is the way out, and I still have control over it in some way, and like it's much more tempting versus when I'm otherwise feeling more optimistic and not as depressed. It's like, well, no, I don't. It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel. There's just there's elements of it lacking that don't feel visceral enough to me. Of like,
eating the fake steak.
Yeah,
but it would be indiscernible fruit, for real.
If you will.
Like that, it's a contradiction to imagine a fake thing being the same as reality, but that is like what it would be. Right?
Maybe it wouldn't be, or maybe it would be indistinguishable once I get in the pleasure box.
Yeah,
but when I'm doing the calculations before getting into the pleasure box, I know.
But then that's the question of like,
I know.
How do you know what's real? How do you know your reality is the real world? And then it's a different conversation. But I would.
That's a whole.
Well, I would expand on that to say like, as a temporary measure, I think other people are a good reason to be tethered to the world. But as a inner truth, or what I don't know what you would call it, as like an axiom, I think it's like a bad thing to be tethered to the world for other people.
Oh, for sure. Like it's not healthy at all. Like you should be tethered to the world for yourself,
or untethered for yourself.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And absolutely. That's just something I got to work on long term, and that's
Well, why would you not get in the pleasure box now then? Because I still am morally neutral to it, but I see the ups and downs of it, I guess, more.
Because I think I'm also neutral to it, but I think the main reason is like I said, there's maybe I don't know, maybe I can't tell when I'm inside that it's not real or it's not whatever, but like that feeling of going in, it feels like a cop out a little bit. It feels like and there are times when I could convince myself that it's worth it and it doesn't matter. But at least in the place where I am right now, I feel like it's not part of the plan. It's not part of my plan for myself. It's not.
I feel like that's a good answer and a better answer than you had previously. And maybe you're right. Like the other times we've talked about it was just like the headspace you're in or whatever. Because I remember arguing like, well, if you actually felt this way, you would have lived your life more similar than how I did.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I feel like your like life experience is better proof for what I suspected was your real belief than your answer to the hypothetical. Like, I think your answer now is like a good, more congruent answer.
Mm-hmm.
Like you feel like it's not your plan and you don't want to like forsaken the reality you do have. Yeah,
I feel like I'm missing on. I would feel like I'm taking the chance with that and then missing out on something else. And I don't know that that's so much of the drive. I think I feel like I said that in a way that sounded differently than how I felt about it. But
Gotcha.
the idea of like, yeah, I don't know. I think there is something beautiful to it. I think there's something very romantic about the idea of the blissful pleasure box that we all get to experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the slow heroin death of the planet, but it's I don't know. It's just not. It's not the way. It's not. Yeah, it's not the thing I want.
It would be interesting to hear you revisit that at some point when you think
sure.
about it.
Yeah, I think that's a good measure of like, at least for myself, I feel like it's a good measure of like where I'm at mentally.
Yeah, a barometer.
Emotionally a little bit. Yeah.
Because I feel like I've chosen to enter the pleasure box more, but it's not like doing street drugs is not a true like equivalent to the hypothetical.
Sure, yeah,
because there's way more downsides than there would be in the hypothetical. But I wanted to like try to get as much of a or like equivalent to a pleasure box, and I kind of am willing to leave reality for something like for that whatever equivalent it would be, but I more and more feel like there is also something about offering more than you're taking to the world, but not from a like spiritual perspective.
Yeah. They don't get me, like I said, it's definitely tempting. And there are, I'm sure there are days, like just rough days where I'm like, you know what? Yeah.
Fuck
you know,
let's
it's
roll.
like that. Yeah. It'd be a dangerous button to have on my desk because it'd be like, you know what? It's done. That's it.
That's why I love DMT, because it was like a little 10-minute vacation in your pocket.
You know, that's one I never got the chance to experience. And
one day we will.
Yeah, it's one of those of like, that's because of how short term of a thing it is. Like, I would be down to try that again.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe into my mid-20s where I was like, I would do acid again. And I'm good with not. Maybe mushrooms.
I'd like to do everything
Still,
like 10 more times, but not soon.
Yeah, you're court ordered not to.
For a while. No, I'm good now. I actually had my I still am not going to fully talk about it, but I have my last thing just recently past the statute of limitations where I don't have to think about it coming up anymore.
Nice. Very cool.
Such a relief, bro. Those DEA agents, holy shit. Those DEA agents were dicks, bro. Holy fuck. So glad to not have to think about that shit. Whew. That shit is so stressful, man. When you're talking to a lawyer, man. Like, I don't know when they're going to fuck me over on this shit. And the lawyers are like, well, just call me when they do. Thanks, bro.
Do you ever have, did you have one of those lawyers with the oversized suit and they're all fucked up?
My last lawyer was dope as fuck just because he happened to be, I guess, childhood friends with my grandpa. And
dope.
It was so... I know I've talked about this before, but I was in jail and just a random stranger shows up as your lawyer, right? And he did have a funny fitting suit. Like an old dude, too. And he's kind of...
They can't control it. Their whole body's kind of ill-fitting, so...
Just slumping into it, so... But
yeah.
He doesn't say anything to me. Lawyers are very standoffish. They're like so over... Like public defender guys. He's just like reading through my file, not saying anything to me for like 5 minutes. And eventually he looks up and he starts crying.
Oh, no.
And he's like, was this your grandpa? And we talked for a second. He just cried and then gave me a hug. And then he did great on my case. It was
fuck yeah,
it was really cool. But
that's rad as hell.
But when I don't have a public defender, I just call all the free lawyer phone numbers, and I talk them into giving me free advice. If you're really annoying, you can get free advice.
That's pretty dope. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Hell yeah.
We work the place where one of our, one of the locations where we do business also shares space for another food vendor.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be as I know he's not going to hear this, but other people will, and I don't want to be talking shit.
Sure.
Necessarily, but this guy. This guy is he helps, or he funds. I don't know what his
terrorism
partnership is. Yeah, I don't know what his partnership is with the food vendor, but he's financially, I guess. Anyways, he's there all the time, and he does other shit with them or around the market area. And every time I see him, he looks like he's a really creepy looking old dude. He always says he has these one-liners and weird shit to say. That's
an archetype for sure.
He's definitely a little bit racist, and
nice.
He's just real, just kind of weird, just generally gross.
Actually, to correct you, he has to be very racist. For you to know he's a little bit racist only in casual.
Yeah, I'm trying to downplay it a little bit.
Sure. But he probably has a KKK robe in his closet, right?
Maybe not that one for sure, but because I guess it doesn't.
I know it's a person that
Yeah, I was gonna say only because I think he's Jewish, so maybe not specifically that, but also that doesn't stop anyone now.
Yeah.
So they but I found out not maybe a year or two after I knew him. He was wearing his most beat 'em up clothes, it's the shit that I mow the lawn in, or I've just got to put on something to take out the trash or something and he tells me he's a lawyer and I didn't. And I was like, oh, for real? He's like, oh, yeah, that's why I'm over here a lot. I do business over at the courthouse over there. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
Press X to doubt.
and then I seen him in his suit one day, came in, and he looked like, that meme of if your lawyer comes in dressed like this, you're going to jail. And it was like, oh, no. It's so exactly funny. As I expected. That's terrible.
He majored in bird law for sure, bro.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Just with a side of trash expertise or something. He's a wild one. He always comes by. He always has a one-liner or some shit to say, and it's never funny. It's always just a little bit edgy, and it's ugh.
Cool,
just
jets.
Weird, dude.
Yeah, lawyers, they're tight.
Always more sure to come over when we have female presenting employees.
Of course,
yeah.
All lawyers.
If he sees me, it's I'm not. He's not coming over.
Of course not. Yeah, all lawyers are pervert by law. Obviously,
it's part of you got to do it to pass the bar.
Yeah. All right. Before we get out of here, any thoughts on the Ayatollah?
Not a single one.
Not a single one? I think it's awesome that dude got killed. Fuck that dude. But, obviously, what's happening in Iran is, barbaric.
Ridiculous.
And
it's insane.
Criminal and, definite possible ensign of our country. Holy shit, democracy is dying. Withering away day by day.
Yeah.
So fucked, man. Fuck the Ayatollah. Fuck the Islamic State. I think it's sick, in a cool way, that so many leaders of that government could be wiped the fuck out, but not like this. Not this way. Yeah.
You said this is what you wanted, but not this way.
Yeah, bro. Holy
bad.
Even when they're right, they're wrong. That
that's a tough one to do, and they're batting 1,000 on that.
I'm criticizing our government for killing the Ayatollah. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's like,
if there was
what kind
ever
of topsy-turvy world are we living in?
Bro, we had this article pulled up about the Pete Hegseth. Like, basically, they're having all these soldiers are filing official complaints with the military because there are Christian pastors giving speeches to rile up the troops about killing Muslims in Iran and how this is a sign of Jesus's Armageddon to retake Iran, and it's all part of God's divine plan. And like, there are literal pastors going to the Pentagon and going to military meetings and shit to hype
it's fucking Eric Kahn's wet dream.
Absolutely. Bro, it is absolutely Eric Kahn type losers speaking to the military on behalf of Pete Hegseth and these other Christian nationalist generals and shit, hyping up like our religious zeal for these attacks to kill people. They just bombed, our government just accidentally bombed with Israel a fucking school and killed like 100 kids today or yesterday or whatever. Like, under the guise of a Christian war strike. It's so astronomically crazy for it all to be done without Congress, like without the people's vote, like just wars on behalf, no other countries being notified. It was just the U.S. and Israel, just on Trump's whim, on these generals' whims. Like, we're just so far out to sea. It is truly hard to understand how democracy of the country it can ever get anything close to back to normal. Like, we've lost so much. It is just that so much damage is irreversible. Even if things do level out a bit, we've changed what it looks like to be a citizen. We've changed what it's like to commit a crime as the leader of the country. We've changed what we do, how we treat our allies, how we attack other countries. Like, so many norms and limitations of power are just gone. That it's truly embarrassing.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's sad. It's just fucked up and sad.
It's sad. This is what it is. You can make the argument that Congress did vote on it when they voted to release the Epstein files. And
I don't buy the connection.
When his homeboy's name's in it, so many thousands of times or whatever. He's like, I need a fucking. I mean, wasn't that a thing, or that was AI, wasn't it? Or there's someone, they said it was an AI thing where he said like, don't fucking release the files, start a war. I don't give a shit.
I think there is some truth to like doing things to distract to some extent, but also,
I mean, that's like their whole platform, right?
I don't think so. I do agree, like, the flood the zone is, like, the tactic, but I don't think Trump's, like, MO has never been to distract from what he does, because he says it all out in the open. They could be doing these things so much more smarter, so much more insidious or effective by choosing what he talks about. He just does not give a fuck, bro, because there's no reason to hide shit. There's never been any consequences. I don't think he feels like he has to distract that much.
I think the him saying the shit that he does is part of the distraction, right?
It is, but I don't think it's his intent. He
says a new crazy thing,
but he's not.
But he's got enough people working. He's got enough people working with him.
But I don't think they're that. Like, I think it almost gives them too much credit to think they're like choosing how they influence the story. They just do not give a fuck.
That's probably true.
Like, they just are that reckless. I don't think they're like clever in their recklessness. I think they just are that unhinged. Like, the flood the zone is what they do ungoverned.
I think I go back and forth on that sometimes, where it's like, if this was by design, it's almost like genius in a way.
Almost.
Like, if it's like you're trying to, like, take control of shit and you just do it. And there's like, no one's obviously standing in your way. So just continue to do it. And it's like, if it's like this is an actual plan, it's effective, obviously, because it's working. But the problem then is that like, yeah, I other times I think you're very right that it's like that's giving them too much credit.
I think so.
It's so reckless and completely insane.
Like if we look at
like, how could any rational person just go through with this?
Or if we just look at the character of the characters involved, like, can you really imagine any of them being calculated? Like,
sure, no, yeah, honestly, actually, you're right. You're right on that. Actually,
and I definitely have done the thing where I've gone back and forth a bit too. But I think at this point, there really is no true strategy. Like, I don't think Trump knew a month ago he planned to attack Iran. Like, the State Department, Trump, and Trump's press secretary, all in the same day, are giving different reasons for why they did what they did. All of which do not align, and some of which contradict each other. Like, there truly is no strategic plan. Like, I don't think they're ever distracting from one story to secretly smuggle in another thing. I think they truly are that unhinged and ungoverned and reckless and stupid, and I think they get way more credit that there's like an actual like strategic thing happening. Like Steve Bannon, Roger Stone, some of these people did have schemes for elections and stuff, but even those schemes were never done as effective as they could have been. All the deeper strategies of MAGA have never been enacted carefully in a way that was very effective. It all just preys on stupidity and like the base natures of the Republican Party to the point that they don't give a fuck, because why would they? They have no reason to.
No, you've convinced me. I think you're right.
But it is crazy though. I mean, oh man, it's just like sad. And it's annoying because it's hard to argue against. Like, these people, of course, there was like a school of kids being fucking snapped out of existence is obviously monstrous, and a lot of people are against it, but like, when you do unhinged, illegal, fucked up things to bad people, a lot of people want to give you the pass. Like, oh, I hate the idea of Iran having nuclear weapons because they're funding terrorism so much that I don't care it was done illegally. Like, that's like half the country, where like, even if they think it's wrong, they think the effect was good, so they don't care. And it sucks that it's not impossible, but it's more difficult to argue against because, you know, some of the things are kind of good, but they're not, it's not redeeming. Like, the overall actions are still bad, should be condemned, and they should be held accountable.
There's definitely, you know, room for a less chaotic, more graceful lines of, you know, making that happen. A more transparent way of making that happen. Yep. You know, for the way that the great negotiator who could end all wars with the snap of his fingers with just one phone call.
Yeah. Man, I got to talk about it way too much, but
yeah, you know, that's
I liked our chill sesh. I liked our vibe on random. It was a good beat, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, we took a beat. Took a beat. We still rounded out to getting angry about politics, and then
always fuck it.
We take a nice cool down at the end.
If we can't get in our pleasure box, we might as well get angry about the intricacies of our fucked up reality. Huh?
Yeah. I didn't ask for this place. It wasn't this. This isn't how. This isn't how the pamphlet lied.
Yeah.
This isn't what I expected. I want my money back. I think that's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are we doing next time? But we should talk about that more later, I think.
Yeah, we can figure that out.
All right, cool.
Yep. thanks again for listening, everybody. Thank you to Approaching Human for the use of his music. You can find his work on SoundCloud at Approaching-Human.
Thanks, John.
Make sure to check out the show page at Trashcats Trashcast on Instagram for news and art from the show. Check out Facebook for the memes.
For the memes, if you're super worried, you can check out my trashy art on Instagram at Skyzix, SKYZACX. We got a couple things in the works, and we're going to bounce back from this beat. super coolly. Appreciate you guys.
Well, fuck yeah. That's going to be all for us today. Stay classy. Eat trashy.
Go fast. Eat trash.
Definitely tempted to listen to some old episodes on the plane.
It's trippy, bro.
Plane ride out.
I listened to one because I forget if I mentioned, but my cousin was listening to episodes, and he's like 100 episodes behind. So he was
yeah.
And I re-listened to what he was listening to. I was like, holy shit! It was so trippy.
It's like a whole fully different people.
Yeah.